running amok with crime, and immigrations are coming over and they're raising the crime level, and they come up with this false sense of crime. You know, if you're living in a gated community
Mm-hmm.
in some suburb somewhere, you probably don't have that level of crime probably ain't gonna reach you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, they're still stoking that fear, and that fear that they're stoking leads to people shooting people straight out of fear, shooting first and asking questions later.
Definitely agree. And even here in San Antonio, just a recent case. Again, a guy is trying to pull money at his ATM. Two people run up on him, and he kills them. You know, and again, it's robbing. Of course, I definitely believe robbing is wrong. But now, neither of these two, they're not going to jail. They're dead. So now you got to go home at night knowing, okay, yes, you almost were robbed potentially, right? The potential is there, but now you're taking two people's lives. I just wonder how that messes with your psyche as well. Like you just, that's it, executioner. No day in jail. No nothing. No court time. You're dead. I was looking at too why police do that because I always wondered like why don't they shoot them in their leg? Why don't they shoot them in their arm? Just stop the threat. But what they're saying in training is though you are supposed to stop the threat immediately. So the first thing you do is you do body shots or shoot them in the head to eliminate that threat. And I think that needs to be changed as well. I don't know. Again, I'm not a police officer, but I get trying to stop threats. I know arms and legs are faster to move, but I don't know how I feel about just immediately going for headshots and
Yeah,
just
well, I
taking out
mean,
the perpetrator. You know, when I get it. I mean, if they're shooting at you, I can understand that part. But a lot of times you're not being shot at, but the first thing you go for is to eliminate your threat, period.
well, if you're committing a crime, that's one thing. You know, that's the risk of committing a crime. If you robbing somebody or you do, hey, you know what? You might get shot in that situation. I can't really defend that. Now, I go to the gun range and I shoot. I mean, I'm familiar with shooting weapons. Easier said than done. Let me hit somebody
Right. They
in the
said that.
arm
Right. They
or the
said it's
leg.
harder too. Mm-hmm.
And you know, you're gonna aim center mass. That's what they call that. You're gonna aim center mass, and they're trained to aim center mass. I mean, you probably shot in the military. The same thing. They don't train you. I mean, no, I know military. You're trained to kill somebody.
Right.
Now, there may be a situation to where you may up close, you may be able to shoot them in the leg or whatever the case
Mm-hmm.
may be. But if you stopping somebody from somewhere far away and you got a gun and you're looking down the sight, if you have that if you have that privilege of looking at a sight and being able to aim and look at somebody's leg, that's one thing. But most likely, this is done in a matter of seconds. You're gonna shoot and you pull up a gun, it's gonna go center mass.
Right.
I think the lesson in that is don't do any crimes.
Or what if you have? I agree,
Basically.
but what about having better training? Because now anybody can get a gun. Like again, you know, I'm not a gun connoisseur. I don't like guns, but I think some people out there are just not trained properly
Oh,
as
of
well.
course.
You know, now you don't have to have a permit. Everybody can just go get a gun. You wouldn't want me with a gun because I've been shot myself. You know, I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and I think there's not enough training in that as well. That's why I'm for just specific people should have guns, in my opinion, because that's their job. That ain't my job to do. And I get being, you know, wanting some type of self defense mechanism to protect you. But if the world was just a better place, we wouldn't have to have guns, people. If we could just act right, you
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
need a gun. And then we wouldn't have that fear because what's driving you to get a gun is fear. If you're not, I mean, you are afraid of something. You want to protect something, but we should be living in a country where we shouldn't have to have those thoughts in our heads. And that's to me where I would like to get to that root cause. Like, what is causing that? Where everybody feels I need a gun to protect myself or to defend myself.
Yeah, we're just living this gun culture, and I wish we had that hunky dory life that you know we were living in hunky dory. We could sing kumbaya and eat
Right.
cotton candy and all that stuff and feel good. But unfortunately, we're in America where it's written in our Constitution you can walk around with a gun, so everybody's got one. That's legally. We ain't even talking illegally what's going on and people getting guns. And you're right, they're not trained. But I don't think there's any training to make it to where you can shoot somebody and not put them in a position to die. Because if you hit them in the right artery in their
Right.
leg,
They
they
could
gonna
die.
die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, you know, I guess it comes down to the, like you said, the grassroots of why we got guns and the whole 9 yards and trying to make a world a better place. And that's basically kind of one of our forums of why we bring it up and try to talk about it here on Left Wing Kings is how can we make a world a better place, and let's have a common sense conversation about it. But in the real world, unfortunately, we're not finding that medium to do that. Now, the people we're talking about today are the people that have that choice not to do it. You know, we're not talking about policemen that have a split second decision to make,
Right, no.
or even the guy that got robbed by the ATM, and yeah, he probably did have stand your ground. He's getting robbed.
Oh, yeah.
He probably did fear his life because they might shoot him because they don't want no witnesses. So
Right.
I just can't, and shout out to and in both situations that's bad. Shout out to the family of the people who
lost
died because I
lives.
know he's got family out there. But nonetheless, we're talking about the people that have the choice not to do it, and they're deciding to do it because they think they have stand your ground behind them. And that's talked about politically by some politicians that are pushing these fear agendas. They got people going out now shooting first and asking questions later, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? I think right now that's maybe a little more focus on, like, how do you solve that? Well, let's get these politicians out of here that are making everybody scared about everybody. So we can stop these senseless killings. Unfortunately, we can't solve everything. And, it'd be great if the NRA would go somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But the devil ain't going to allow that. So, we're trying to stop, trying to do this. And I think we focus on these politicians that are pushing these fear agendas,
Would you
unfortunately.
think also the media plays a big, heavy part in that as well? Because when you turn on the news, they ain't showing you news about good things that are going around. They show you news about what the negative things that are happening, the crime that's occurring. And not saying you shouldn't be pointing that information out as well, but I think there's always more negative on TV than there is positive. Looks like there's more bad in the world than there is good.
Yeah, and the news, yeah, it doesn't help. But then it's funny when people say that about news. It's kind of their job to tell us what's happening.
Right.
It's not their job to kind of tell us what we want to hear.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And sometimes, and unfortunately in this world, what's happening is horrible. I had the privilege of being on the studio with Kingz 5, while they were filming, and it just gave me a whole different outlook on what they did, just seeing them actually do it. I was back there and I looked and I was like, this is kind of, imagine going to your job every day and just having to get all kinds of information coming in to you that's horrible and having to report on it. And that's basically what their job is. And you look at the teleprompters, it's just, and they're reading it, and I'm reading it too. I'm like, damn, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But they got to read that and say that. You know what I'm saying?
But there's good stuff that goes on too. Like when I think about schools, the first thing they'll do is find a teacher who's sleeping with a kid. Do you know what goes on every day at a school? Most people don't. They don't get to see inside what we do, the hustle.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, but you found that story. You found the story where the kid is, or the teacher is doing some inappropriate relationship. Like find those good things that are going on every day as well. So that's all I'm saying. I just think they should balance it. But I think negativity draws more attention than a positive story about a second grader who learned how to read for the first time. You know what I mean? That now he's reading at the fourth grade. People just aren't interested in that.
if somebody got shot at this school that's right around from your corner, but they decided to talk about your second grade reading program and not tell you about the person who got shot, wouldn't you be kind of upset with them?
No, I agree. But I'm saying, but on a day-to-day basis, that doesn't happen ever. The first thing they're going to do is, of course, if a shooting happens at your school or inappropriate relationship going on with a teacher, you don't see a lot of positive educational stories, I guess is what I'm saying.
You can see
you don't
the
see
good
that
with the bad,
at all.
right?
Yeah, like mix it up some.
Yeah.
Okay, can we
But
mix it up?
I want to give
a
a
bit?
shout out real quick. We do got some love coming through on YouTube. So we got Kevin Hall who says, hi Malik, 2:50 a.m. here in Sydney. It's in Australia, my man. I got some of my Australian peeps coming through to the quick check-in before bed.
Australia.
So,
I'm trying to get to Australia, man.
Me too.
Just New Zealand, Australia, that part of the world. I just think it's fly down there for whatever reason. I got to see what's going on down there in that part of the world.
That's true.
All right, what up, man? Appreciate you tuning in and on the YouTube side, man. And remember, man, we're live streaming this YouTube, and we're on all these major platforms. I don't know. We might even be on TikTok. I don't even know.
I haven't done us on TikTok yet.
Okay.
Now we on TikTok.
Yeah. So that's funny, right? You know what I'm saying?
We're on TikTok. See, you can't be banning TikTok. That's where you see us.
I just gave my opinion on it, but You know, if you're on TikTok, go ahead and sign up on TikTok.
Dude. You're like, let me go ahead and plug in some TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, go and let me make this quick
Quick
TikTok
TikTok.
money also. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't down with them. It was going against national security, but go ahead and log on there.
Yeah,
I'm
while we got it,
take that money.
go ahead and use it.
You know, and use it, man. And, now, YouTube, Facebook, IG, man, you can find us out there, man. Go ahead and sign up, log on, subscribe, do what you need to do.
Yes, sir. Now, I guess we need to talk about the white horse in the White House. So, cocaine.
Yes.
So, July 2nd, there was some cocaine found in the White House, boy, and the right went crazy. Now, it was found in a cubby hole, right, on the visitor side, not the visitor side. It was found where, special high-profile visitors get to go into the White House, and so they get to take tours. So they're, invited high-profile people, and they have an area where they have to drop their stuff off, and I guess they come back when the tour's over, and they take their stuff, and somebody forgot their powder. So, basically, with all the stuff that's happening, with Hunter Biden and everything else, the right just went crazy on this.
Yeah,
one,
I
man.
mean,
It's crazy.
Here's my deal. We're gonna get that. We're gonna address the elephant in the room. What if it was Hunter Biden? I say, it just so happens it is Hunter's. Even though Hunter don't live in the White House, but nonetheless, it's Hunter Biden.
And he don't go on tours.
They found it as Hunter Biden's cocaine. What that got to do with the president?
Nothing.
We all got crackheads in our family.
Yep.
I do not. That's a situation.
Then you are the crackhead.
Then you
right?
are. You just don't know.
No. But I mean, and that's the whole deal. It's too much sensationalism. Jimmy Carter's brother had issues. Clinton's people had issues. Everybody's got people. So when they do that and they jump Hunter Biden, it don't matter. It ain't Joe Biden. I mean,
Right. Then I'd be concerned.
and it ain't like Joe Biden ain't talking about his son and his drug
Right.
problems. So
It's very open.
So let's go talk about that and put it there. So, and it's found in the White House, in the visitor side, or whatever the case may be. It's a lot of ways you can go that the right is going to jump on. They try to use it politically on there as Hunter Biden or whatever. The left's going to say it could have been planted there or whatever the case may be. Who knows? End of the day, it ain't the first time cocaine been in the White House. I'm pretty sure.
Right. And
I'm saying.
cocaine's an expensive drug. So it's somebody.
Somebody with money got
somebody
it. Right?
has money, okay? But my thing is, I was
How
like,
you know
why
it's
is this a
expensive? You
news?
said you wasn't a crackhead. How you
I'm
know?
not a crackhead,
Okay.
but
I'm just messing with you.
you know I know about drugs. And again, I do not believe in drugs. I'm all natural. But my concern was this was just on the news. And I was like, what are we talking about? There's so many things going on in this world, and we're focused on cocaine in the White House and Hunter Biden's situation. And what happened to the hands off of kids? He's a grown man. Why do we keep talking about Hunter? He is not the president. I'm not concerned. I'm not. Please find out who's bringing drugs, and hope you're dealing and selling in that White House. That's a big concern. That's a story.
Well, the
if
White
somebody
House
was-
ain't too far from the trap house.
just say,
'Cause
that
I've
is
been
true.
to DC. It's straight
DC
smack
is hood.
dab in the
Right,
hood.
right. I said, but I just thought it was really interesting that, the story kept playing on Fox over and over and over again. I was like, man, can we get to education and taxes and things that really
And issues.
issues that impact all of us? I said, I wasn't too concerned. Please find the person. Don't do drugs. You need to have that back on. Don't do drugs. Interesting, but
Nancy Reagan, don't do drugs unless you're funding the Contra. In El Salvador, you know what I'm
Just
saying?
say
They're
no.
doing that. Just say
Right.
no, but you gotta keep them drugs coming through, which led to
Right.
the crack era in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So,
and put them in areas of impoverished people
Yeah.
and black and browns. But that's a whole. We digress. We digress.
yeah.
But I said we're not the ones with like you said, the planes bringing in the drugs. We don't have that type of money. Sorry, that's not us generational wealth people. You might want to be looking at. That ain't us.
yeah.
Don't have the power to do so.
I mean, it's funny how it's got blown into proportion, but I think that falls into, once again, people just trying to position themselves to win elections and
Right.
and play towards their their base and things of that nature. And let's find something that we can galvanize around and make a big deal out of, But we're not going to talk about issues, We ain't talking about how the Supreme Court is running amok with everybody's rights and doing everything like that and the whole 9 yards, which I think are going to be key issues when it comes to the elections and things of that nature.
That's what people care about.
Yeah, like abortion. You know what I'm saying? The people care about that, and that's going to
Reproductive
determine
rights.
elections. But let's talk about cocaine being in the White House. We don't know whose it is. Nobody got
Right.
arrested. Whatever the case may be. And they make it sound like what's my man's name out of Britain or whatever, Boris, whatever his name is.
I know you're talking about.
Nah.
Can't
He
think of
was
his last
throwing
name.
parties. That
Right.
dude was throwing hooker
Now
parties
that's a concern,
During COVID.
with
right?
cocaine, and he had houses all over England, and he was doing. Now, if that dude, they found it,
Then- right,
yeah, now that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because we know how he get down.
right.
Yeah. Exactly. But
Biden don't get down like that.
Biden's trying to stay alive.
Now
y'all.
they
Have
said
y'all
they
just
found
seen that?
Viagra in there.
like he tripped over the
Biden's trying to
sandbags.
stay alive.
They said they found a Viagra. Now I'm looking. Now I'm looking at Biden like, oh, okay, that's on Biden.
That's why
you know
he
what I'm saying?
laughed. He laughed. He was like, "Y'all, I can hardly speak,
cocaine?
sweeties. I'm trying."
Yeah.
He can't put nothing but up his nose that don't need to go there, man.
No,
He like I can't
He don't
put two
play, he playing
words
with his
together.
life like that.
no.
What'd you say last time? Tripping over sandbags.
Yeah, like
Poor
this dude ain't
Biden.
trying to mess up his faculties any more than they already told.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
look, they got me to this point right here. This is where I'm at. Everything they got
Yeah.
on nothing foreign need to be coming this way,
Exactly.
man.
Hey, I thought they was gonna blame it on Kamala because the vice president's car is on the side where those special guests come in for the tour. So I thought they was gonna say like one of Kamala's relatives
I can't defend
came
Kamala.
through. So
I can't defend Kamala. I don't know.
yeah, blame it on the black person, the black VP. I know she do it. But,
Yeah.
Stop it.
but what would be funny though is like Marjorie Taylor Greene planted that shit in there. Like she just came in on the tour, nigga.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Drop some coke in the cubby hole for you.
You know what's funny?
She trying to get back on the Freedom Caucus.
they
good
kicked
side.
her out of the Freedom Caucus.
Yes.
They kicked her out of the Freedom Caucus because she siding with McCarthy too much. Like so, she like her people don't
They
even
said
like
they
her no
kicked
more.
her.
No,
They said they
she
kicked
got
her out
kicked out
for
because
calling
she
that
called her a
Boebert.
B word.
Right, for calling Boebert a bitch.
Yo,
That's why they say. And I'm like, come on, man. She done said so much crazy shit, and y'all ain't done nothing. Now she calls one of your Freedom Caucus members a bitch, and it's like,
You gotta go.
you gotta go? Like, really?
Yeah.
You put up with all that, but you can't put up with this?
well,
Get outta
and
here.
this is what I heard too, because the Freedom Caucus ain't too happy that McCarthy got when they were going with the debt ceiling and all of that. That they came to an agreement, they made that happen, and I heard that Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of sided with him with that. So the Freedom Caucus, and probably some
Okay.
other things, so
Right.
They're kind of done with her, but.
Not that she's crazy. I mean, we not just that she's just crazy. We're not gonna get rid of her.
Nah, I mean,
She has said some outlandish things.
yeah.
I'm like, what is
yeah.
happening?
Oh,
These
yeah.
are people who are representing us. What? Well, not me, but you know what I mean. But
oh yeah,
as
no,
a whole,
I mean,
it's nuts.
definitely over here, defending Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it's it's kind of funny that the Freedom Caucus don't even want her hanging out with him no more. Because she's wishy washy.
Right.
That's why. Don't know what the hell she's talking about. And some people decided to elect her and keep her there in the whole 9 yards, and now they're giving her committee positions and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, that story's still unfolding, man. And wow, that's all I can say to that. But once again, politician who's based on fear, talking fear, and not understanding the repercussions comes down to that's why somebody turns into somebody's driveway and they get shot because you're telling them the world's going crazy.
Right.
That's why you need me here in the White House or in Congress or whatever the case may be. And they take that, they go out and they shoot somebody. I'm
Right.
saying so. And she's probably one of the biggest and the prime examples of that.
Right. Freedom of speech, freedom of actions is not freedom without consequences. And people need to remember that. You got freedoms, but you may have some consequences in regards to those. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Be mindful of what you do
Be
and what you
mindful.
say.
Yeah. So, Gina, we got anybody else coming through on the live stream today?
No, just Kevin talking about his the weather in Sydney.
Okay. Well, just want to remind you guys, if you out there watching live, make sure that you join in on the conversation. I know this is our first time that we've kind of been interactive with the live stream, and I had all kind of issues today that I'm gonna have to figure out and fix. So hopefully next time the live streams on YouTube and on Facebook are a lot more conducive to you joining in the conversation from the start and being alerted that we have a live stream so that you can jump in and join us. So thanks, Kevin, for joining us for the live stream. Anybody else out there who has not commented, thank you for joining us as well. Walanda, Ace, y'all got any closing comments for today?
Go ahead, Walanda. You beat me
No,
to it.
that was it. I mean, just the whole freedom, just your freedom. Just be careful about actions. Words matter. I've been trying to respond to people who on our live streams, and I'm like, wow, if y'all don't believe that racism exists, go check out our comments. Guys, check out our comments. We are not here for that. I'm here to educate, keep people open-minded, keep people from fearing us, people who look like us, people who look different from you. I'm all about the positivity. But what I'm realizing in life is that, we got a long way to go. We got some work to do, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, if I can kind of piggyback on that, look, you're welcome to say, comment, and do whatever you want to. We welcome you to do that. We're not in a situation where we're backing down to anybody, no matter what you're saying or what you're doing, or any personal insults or whatever thing you make. Listen, common sense conversations about current events. Common sense is the first thing that I said. That's basically it. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're trying to get back and forth or something in your little menial life that you're doing, and you're just trying to make comments because you like to see yourself up there and cause arguments, the stuff people did when Facebook and all that first came out, we ain't the ones for that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk to you and engage you, and if you can't have a conversation, then we're gonna eventually stop talking to you. We really want to get a dialogue going, and I think one of the bases of the shows is just that let's have people that have different opinions be able to talk and learn to agree to disagree. That's basically it. It's a time in this world that you could do that. You could have a conversation. Republicans and Democrats and independents could sit down and talk and have a political conversation, and they could come up with a conclusion that benefited this country. That's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to make happen. So feel free. Tell your friends. Like I said, think we're doing something beautiful here. And please follow us on any major social media platform, and subscribe to our YouTube page, and then live stream and comment. We look forward to doing that.
All right. Great closing, Asian. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.